MGM Grand in Las Vegas.
So because we had 2 iHeartRadio Festival acts back to back, 2 people need to go on the draw. Hello, Craig.
Yeah.
You're in, man. Congratulations.
Awesome, man. That's cool as. I hope I win.
Fingers crossed for you, man. Fingers crossed. And Jacinta, you're in the draw too.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, hold there. A whole lot more of iHeartRadio Festival act loving coming up. Doesn't even make any sense. Here's Justin Timberlake.
To secure a bonus point win that moves them within 3 points of Ireland, setting up a crunch final pool match against the Irish in Dunedin on Sunday. And Canada coach Kieran Crowley will give his side time to reflect on their 23-all draw with Japan before turning their attention to the All Blacks. And Australia's injury concerns have eased, but Radike Samo may start on the wing against Russia as the Wallabies limp towards the World Cup quarter-finals. Rugby World Cup 2011 with pit stop. Breaks check now. 3 games in the dry, then a must-win game in the wet. England's move up to Auckland for their final World Cup match against Scotland on Sunday. 3 games in the new enclosed Otago Stadium. Despite winning all 3 pool games so far, a loss this weekend by 8 points or more would in all likelihood see their tournament end. Prop Matt Stevens isn't bothered by rain predicted for the weekend.
We're used to the wet. It's not something that worries us because we spent time working with it and making sure our game plan is one that can be adjusted to whatever conditions we have.
And the first Warriors side to make the NRL Grand Final were history pavers. Former Warrior Arwood Gudenbeal is urging this year's team to be history makers. Gudenbeal was part of the 2002 side that made the Grand Final, but were comfortably seen off by the Roosters. Spoken to the team this week, urging them to make their mark.
For us, the first time we've been to a grand final as a club. Hopefully we've paved the way a little, and these guys will step up and do the job. They're just a fantastic bunch of players and young men that are in form and doing the job.
As expected, coach Ivan Cleary's named an unchanged side for the match. Manly mentor Des Hasler has brought back Glenn Stewart and Darcy Lusick from suspensions. NRL with Pellet.com business management software. And Manchester United's taken an early 2-0 lead over Swiss side Basel at Old Trafford in European Champions League football action. No score between Manchester City and Bayern Munich in Germany. Matt Brown, News Talk NBC.
News Talk ZB Weather Watch 24/7 with the Panasonic Lumix G Series camera range, the easy-to-use system.
Another one today, and heaps of fun meeting the kids.
Good on you. Well, you carry on, and we'll stay in touch with you, and we'll look forward to talking again.
That'll be awesome, and everyone just get your mobile phone out and write down the word stroke.
Go on to...
Yes, but what was your qualification for doing that?
I was a corporal. So I've done all my training on, on weapons, you do everything. You do weapons, you do physical fitness, you do, so everything that you're going to teach them, you had to train in yourself. You had to do first aid, you had to do everything.
Because I'm right behind the All Blacks myself, but I just feel that the arena took a bit of the spotlight off of the rugby.
Well, so it should have as well. It's unbelievable. Anyway, thanks for your call. Back to wrap up after this. Score a hot deal with Paper Plus, proudly presenting News Dog ZB's coverage of Rugby World Cup 2011, exclusive and live. News Dog ZB will make sure you don't miss a thing by bringing you previews, reviews, and full commentary of all New Zealand games, as well as the 4 finals matches. Rugby World Cup 2011 coverage on News Dog ZB, thanks to Paper Plus, 100% locally owned and operated. The GraysOnline.co.nz $1 million insurance claim online auctions are on now. A massive range of iPads, iPhone 4s, both sound systems, branded street and sportswear, and more. Everything will go at a fraction of retail, including some items that will be sold at $9 unreserved. Register now at GraysOnline.co.nz. The $1 million insurance claim online auctions. Register now and start bidding. GraysOnline.co.nz.
Have you ever been walking along a block and felt like you were being followed? Fear of violent crime is greater today than it ever was, and sadly the threat is very real. What you need is a walk-easy personal alarm. Press the panic button and an alarm sounds 50% louder than a police siren. It'll scare any attacker away, and it'll keep on blaring for 6 minutes. The noise can be heard up to 400 meters away. Stay safe. Order your walk-easy personal alarm.
Sport, the wood in this country. Anyway, referring to the adults who had abrogated their responsibilities toward their kids, she was overworked to hell. Now he thinks that the addition of further social workers to decile 1 through 3 schools is a fine thing, as does David. The increase in social worker numbers in low decile schools is a great move and is long overdue. If we're going to break the intergenerational cycle of poverty, welfarism, crime, child abuse, and all the rest of
Notice something different about you, like about what you're wearing or how you look. The glasses, are they real or are they cosmetic?
No, they're real. I'm actually blind.
Are they really?
Yeah, I'm short-sighted, so I can't see anything.
Yeah, I can't read it.
Amazing. Do you wear contact lenses when you're on stage, or do you wear glasses?
Like about what you're wearing or how you look. The glasses, are they real or are they cosmetic?
No, they're real. I'm actually blind.
Are they real?
Games that everybody buys into, it's a collective.
Well, no, but how does that,
It's the right who are going to get hit by it.
free scheme when everyone's paying into it, everyone's entitled to it, and some people blatantly don't need it.
Well, that's the point. Everybody pays into it, so everybody should benefit from it.
Well, that's silly. We all pay taxes, but we don't all claim, I don't know, unemployment benefit.
Anyway, no, but just because your kid doesn't, you don't have kids, doesn't mean you get to opt out of.
Let's move on. I just want to point out that every other scheme around the world that's compulsory is means tested. Their pension is means tested.
It just has.
Anyway, borrowing to put into the super fund. You'd agree with this, Tim?
Yeah, look, absolutely.
Really?
Again, it comes down to the point that we save now or we pay later.
No, you're borrowing. We've got huge debt.
No, but Larry, that's such a misnomer. We all do that. You have a mortgage and you have investments?
No, I have a mortgage and no investments.
No, you have no money. You have no savings and no investments.
No, I don't.
Most don't have investments. So I thought the first thing of finance is to pay off your debt first.
Exactly. Most companies and a lot of households will be carrying some debt and
we've got this huge debt problem, and if we don't address it, we're going to be in serious trouble. And you're suggesting, Tim, that we borrow and shove it into an investment fund.
But borrowing anyway, Larry, you can equally just you could just as easily say that you're using revenue. People will stay with the government they've got. You don't change in bad times. Labor to try and paint National into the corner and say they're all silent ways, and we're the party with ideas. Interesting battle.
Okay, Alan?
It's an interesting preview this week because normally they have an upside risk scenario and a downside risk scenario. This time they didn't even bother putting the upside one on, which basically tells you quite clearly that they think what they've got is the upside risk and it's not that likely to pan out.
Part of United Future's role is to keep the government to the centre, not to the right or the left. So we say there are three key assets that should never be sold: Kiwibank, Radio New Zealand and our water, and that New Zealand keeps control.
For you guys this year. Of course, it all is happening tomorrow at 5 o'clock live on News Talk ZB and streaming
CRC 223.
But if you want a bit of an office fun, you can
A reasonable result given the backdrop of the markets overnight. The issue price was $1.40. They came on and traded as high as $1.45, closing at $1.41. Volume was reasonably strong, nearly 3 million shares through. So I guess they're start, and they've got a number of growth options available to them. They're on track to deliver more than 250 units over the next 2 years, and they're also hoping to double their land bank inside of the next couple of years as well. So we've had a very successful couple of times and performance of Ryman last year, and certainly Somerset was trying to replicate that similar type of performance for their investors and shareholders.
Okay, give us the
Cape Colville northeast rising to 30, gusting 40, turning northerly 20 overnight, becoming northwest 15 tomorrow morning. And the outlook for Thursday, northwest 20 but 25 in the east, changing southwest 15 everywhere at night. High tides, Waitemata 10 to 1 tomorrow morning, Manukau at Onehunga 4 to 4 tomorrow morning. For Auckland, rain with some heavy falls, easing showers tonight. Cloudy periods tomorrow with isolated showers mainly in the west, and long fine spells at first on Thursday, but becoming cloudy by the evening with rain after dark. Friday, a few showers and then fine spells. Tonight's overnight low 13, tomorrow's high heading for 20 degrees.
When you mean business, Williams means business. Williams means business. Thanks to Rico on News Talk ZB.
It is now 6:07 and Brett Stephen, first NZ Capital, joins us. Hello, Brett.
Evening, though.
So we finished a flat no change.
Yeah, good result, I guess, when you look offshore. That market's been pretty weak over in Europe and the US last night. So the New Zealand market to remain unchanged today was a fairly good result. So the NZSE 50 closing at 3,332 points. Volume was, I guess you could say it's there on a day when a lot of the Australians, certainly the fund managers over there, would have been enjoying Melbourne Cup Day. We had $91 million through on our market. To give you an idea, the Aussie market generally trades around $6 billion worth, and today they've only traded just under $3 billion, so about half the normal volume in Australia. So for us to reach that sort of level wasn't a bad result, really. Those offshore markets, just recapping last night, Dow Jones finishing down 276 points, just under 12,000 on the index there, 11,955. Broader market, S&P 500 down nearly 2.5% to 1,253, and European markets down the better part of 3%. So what was causing the sell-off? Well, a number of issues really. There was MS Global bankrupt filing. They're a large fund manager and futures dealer. We've also had concerns over the lack of traction happening in the bond market in Europe, in particular Italy. Their debt is now, or is trading at higher yields than prior to the bailout package being agreed upon, so that's a bit of a concern. Also had some weaker economic data out of the US and a firmer US dollar. We saw the Bank of Japan intervening in the currency markets yesterday. The yen-US cross rate was around 75 yen when the Bank of Japan intervened. It did get to as high as 79.50, so their intervention had a pretty good result initially, but it has faded a little bit today, closing it's trading currently around about 78 yen to the US dollar. So Bank of Japan intervening, a lot of intervention in the markets and offshore markets in our part of the world, apart from New Zealand, also tracking that negative trend at the present time.
Brett, what are you seeing re the Eurozone? I mean, the commentary that I've read over the last few days suggests that there's more to come out of there, that it's not done and dusted, and there's a real risk that Greece will default. What are you seeing?
Well, they've had the haircut, obviously. That's a 50% cut, and that was really a gun held to the European banks. Either it was going to take the voluntary 50% haircut or will default completely. So they
accepted that. They've accepted that, have they?
Yes,
the European banks.
Yeah. Which is an interesting thing because a lot of them would have had what's called CDS insurance against the debt positions they would have had against Greece. And effectively, given the default was voluntary, those CDS insurance contracts that they would have had are null and void. So it's really put the cat amongst the pigeons for that whole type of insurance space where investors have, when they've got positions in countries or in corporates that they feel are less than secure or certainly not as secure as when they bought them.
They would have had what? They would have had credit default swaps on sovereign debt, would they?
Absolutely, yes. There was.
But then who pays that when it all goes pear-shaped? It's sort of like
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. They didn't obviously trigger that because it's now termed as a voluntary default or a voluntary write-down, and it's not a credit event. So that CDS insurance is worthless. So it throws into question the reason, why should they even have that type of mechanism in the market?
But if you have that insurance, somebody somewhere has to pay. It's a bit like AIG in America, isn't it?
That's right. But that goes with Greece. No one pays it because they're saying it's a voluntary default and it's not a credit event. So that's, I think one of the other interesting things that came out last night with Greece in particular was that the government put to the citizens over there a referendum where they are getting the general public to vote on the austerity measures. So, certainly if it's voted public, you're not going to vote in favour of austerity.
I was telling somebody that I was there a couple of weeks ago, in Athens, and it was a Sunday, it was a quiet Sunday, but a strike was planned for the next day. All go slow, whatever, and I was walking around Parliament there, and there were three big, buses. They were police paddy wagons, and the cops had the big shields, their legs had shields on them, they were carrying machine guns, they had the batons, and there were three of these things. I suppose there'd be about 50, 60 cops, I don't know. And it was a quiet day, but they were prepared. And I believe the other day, a couple of days later, they had a massive protest, and it got quite grubby. You
wonder if you're sitting there in your island in Portugal, and you've seen how Greece has been given this debt relief, and you might be wondering to yourself, why don't we try and hold out for the same thing?
Well, isn't Italy now the big key, the big question? They're really worried about Italy, aren't they?
Well, certainly the markets in the bond space haven't been as euphoric over the result that the European leaders were able to instigate a week or so ago, because, as I mentioned at the top, the Italian 10-year and 5-year bond rates are trading at very, very high levels. On the 10-year, it's above 6%. I think the one-year rate is around about 4.5% for the 10 years. So, and it's an historic high when you look at the margin that it's raised at against German debt. So, certainly over the last week.
A couple of quick things. Somerset is a retirement village listed today.
Yep, New Zealand's third largest retirement village operator had what I would probably describe as a reasonable result given the backdrop of the markets overnight. The issue price was $1.40. They came on and traded as high as $1.45, closing at $1.41. Volume was reasonably strong, nearly 3 million shares through. So I guess their start, and they've got a number of growth options available to them. They're on track to deliver more than 250 units over the next 2 years, and they're also hoping to double their land bank in the inside of the investors and shareholders.
Okay, give us the name.
Yesterday was up 2 cents, 51 cents. So speaking of Ryman, they announced their first purchase of a site in Australia. Some of the districts have been looking over in Australia now for a site for the last 2 years. So they've announced that they have finally closed on a site that is relatively medium density village over in Australia. So this year, if I say, just closed, traded down $5.66. Stanford on very light volume is down 55 cents to $4.40. So City down 5 to $3.29. Telephone $4, $2.57 last. Westpac down $1.15 to $28.55. And the warehouse down 3 cents to $3.34. Just quickly on the Australian market, we're going to close out today down 65 points. The RPA conference rate, not 25 basis points for OCR now at 4.5%. The index down 1.5%. That's largely due to the offshore markets falling and also some weaker PMI data out of China. So the resource sector was getting up a bit of ground today. Japanese market down 1%, and best performing market at the present time is the Korean market. So the most the other two go. Just finally, just when the New Zealand dollar strengthened against the Australian dollar after that RPA drop, 7.17 against the Australian dollar currency, and against the greenback against more good with the government most statements available to you. By calling 0800 Thank you, Rick. See this person is capital news. Look at this now. Something this year is originally on our boat.
Tuesday, live large on Thursday.
From one experienced traveller to another, let Insight Vacations whisk you away to the playgrounds of Europe on a fully escorted tour next year. Insight Vacations,
Thursday.
From one experienced traveller to another, let Insight Vacations whisk you away to the playgrounds of Europe on a fully escorted tour next year. Insight Vacations, the
DJ C95.
So you'll travel.
So why add even more to that unfairness?
Thank you for coming on the program, David. I do appreciate it. That is David Thornton from NoMoreRates.com. We have Frano
from NoMoreRates.com. We have Frano Sullivan from the New Zealand Herald in just a moment. It's now 6.
members, like you, give us a call on 0800 Crockers or check out crockers.co.nz.
Arise, New Zealand. It's the Mike Hosking Breakfast. Swap Pack. Get cash delivered to your business account daily on News Talk ZB.
We've recently launched our first home and mobile package, which is called Total Home Mobile, which includes great mobile rates. And we've really been trying to meet our customers' needs as they change. So it's really a good time to actually be customer intelligence. What about our call? What do we do? Well, join our call or join us. You can go to telecom.co.nz, drop into any telecom store, or just give us a call, 0800 444 123. Our team can check that broadband is available in your area and set up. Beautiful. Thank you, Matt. Stay on the line with you. Community notices with quality New Zealand even outdoor furniture by Danska Mobile. Outdoor Expo on now.
Innocent homeowners will open their doors on Friday, 11th November from 10 to 4 for the first ever festive entertainment tour to help raise funds to the fight against child cancer. Gain rare access to outstanding kitchens and Christmas decor. Inside the home, chefs will demonstrate Christmas fare and estimate festive treats. Tickets are on sale now in ticketek.co.nz.
Care for our community. Danska Mobile and News Talk ZB. News Talk ZB, it is 8 to 11. Jim, morning.
Problematic. A big asteroid has made its closest flyby of Earth in 200 years. Astronomers around the world aimed their telescopes earlier today to catch a glimpse of 2005 YU.
Time saver traffic.
Propel with an ER propels a boat forward. Propel up with an A is the power behind your business.
Are you an importer with foreign currency, shipment costing, or real?
The music, the TV shows, of course, the movies, and now the record he's always wanted to make. He grew up listening to Johnny Cash and Jerry Lee Lewis and the Sun record stars. He idolized Sam Phillips, who made Sun one of the great names. So Beyond the Sun is a tribute to all of that. And Chris Isaac as well as good morning. Stockton, do you have an expectation that you're going to leave town, or you don't know what's going to happen? Or you
Has been very professional about the decision.
Really disappointed at the moment because it's something that he's put down for, something he's been in the role